Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to see how to use embedded Postgres database, which is used for testing. So basically, it's called Zonky Embedded Postgres, and this can be used for a testing purpose. So Zonky sits in the middle, and it provides a way to run a real embedded PostgreSQL database directly within your Spring test context with almost zero configurations. So that's basically a definition of chunking. And we're going to see in action how to use this in our Spring Boot applications. So this is a official GitHub link for Jonky, and we need to apply this dependency in our Spring Boot app. And there's another one dependency too. Okay, let's start Spring IO. This project is a Maven type, language Java 404. Name is like Jonky demo project name. Sorry, Jonky. And it's a packaging jar. Let's take it YAML and Java 25, add dependency Spring Web, Lombok. Let's add Liquibase to migration. I think that's what we need. We don't right now. We don't need Postgres. We need JPA, data JPA, and let's generate it. It's downloading the dependencies, which is good. Let's see what's in the POM XML. Chunky, we have Liquibase. Now we need to add two more dependencies. That is, we already have a Liquibase dependencies. Yes, that is good. Now we need to add this chunky dependencies. So this one here, we need to take this dependencies. And we need another dependency. And this dependencies is for embedded database Spring. And we need to look what is the current version of it. Okay. Let's create an entity class, call it customer entity, and this entity has this table, a first entity, then it has a table, customer. Now it's complaining. Let's add an ID. We'll use Lombok, getter, setter, and we'll use getter setter. Yes, and this ID is an auto generated, so we'll use generated identity, and it has a first name. Yeah, so just this, let's take an email address. All right, so that's basically our entity. And now let's create a repository interface. Call it a customer repository, and this extends JPA repository, and then with customer entity, and it takes along. So now we have a repository, and now we have an entity. Let's create a change log for the database, for the table customer. We can use AI for this. Uh, Create liquid-based change log for customer, and db change log, and make a master change log 2. So AI has created a change log, that is a db change log customer, which is like auto increment. It has a first name and an email, and then it created a master here. Yeah, because we have a first name and we have an email. So let's accept all. Now let's create test for an customer repository. We can also use AI now. Create tests for customer repository. No. Let's create a test for the customer repository. And here we're going to use JPA data test, and we need to import embedded database. So here is what important. So this will take in consideration of Zonky. Refresh, we want every time after each method, and provider, this is important, provider would be a Zonky here, embedded. So once more, here we imported auto configured embedded database, and this takes a refresh, that we want to refresh it every time when this method is executed, and the database provider is an embedded database. That's important here. That's important. and then we write test. Let's import. Okay. Now let's in AutoWire repository, and test find test. Very good. And here we'll ask AI to fill up. So the AI has changed 3 files. One is an application, which is good, which is already there. Now find by name, first name, yeah, and then it wrote a test. So let's accept everything. And so what basically does this test? It creates an customer entity and sets name and save in a database, and then it saves another one, and then it says find by name, and then it checks if it can find. Now run the test and let's see if it works with our embedded database. Good one. Wow, it passed. The test has passed. Let's see the logs. As you can see, that change log also ran successfully, and it created the table, and it automatically takes the base URL, this one, and it uses JDBC driver, and everything happens from within the Zonky, and we don't need any explicit configurations, and it works perfectly now. So look, if you see this YAML, we don't have any database URL and everything. It just works out of with this annotation is enough. This one, it's just all the magic. For example, let's check if it's really passes again. I change the name. And it fails, right? It says an expected Alice 1, but actually is Alice. So that's like make it red and check if it's correct or not. But it works like a charm. Thanks for watching. Bye.